What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Excuse me. Now, before we get started with today's video, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close, and we are now 209 subs away from hitting 500 subs. And if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because practically 100% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys are not even subscribed. So, if you guys are watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this. What deck do you guys believe what deck do you believe will get first place at the upcoming YCS in Anaheim? I think it's Anaheim. I want to say it's Anaheim. What deck do you guys believe will become the top meta deck at the upcoming YCS, which is in Anaheim? Let me know down in the comments below. Or is it Birmingham? Manchester. Okay. So Manchester. Let's rephrase. What deck do you believe will become the meta deck at the upcoming World Championship qualifier in Manchester, England? Let me know down in the comments below. And for today's video, speaking of meta decks, today's video we actually have another new archetype that could potentially be the new meta deck of 2025. And honestly, I'm actually super excited for this one, because this is actually a synchro link based deck, and it's known as the Yummy Archetype. Yes, you heard me right. Yummy. Why it's called Yummy, I've got no fucking clue. But I'm not gonna waste any time. I'm just gonna get straight into it, and we are gonna kick things off with Cupsy Yummy. And of course, you guys know anytime that there is a cutesy archetype that shows up into the format, you know damn well it's gonna end up becoming the new meta, possibly for about a week. Who knows? But anyway, it's a 1-star light beast with 0 attack, 1600 defense, and both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, if you control a Link 1 monster or a level 2 synchro, excuse me, you can special summon this card from your hand. Excuse me, sorry about that, guys. Second effect reads, if this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 Yummy card from your deck to your hand except this card, or if it was special summoned by a synchro monster's effect, you can draw 1 card instead. So this is basically your this is basically your Cyber Dragon Stratos, to be able to just add pretty much like any add any Yummy card to your hand, or get a free draw, which is pretty good. The only downside to it though is that this archetype is mostly just off of this effect, just off of this card alone. I feel like that this is more of a going first archetype rather than a going second archetype, because if it goes second, your opponent will have a pretty decent amount of of negates on board. They'll have cards like excuse me. Excuse me. They'll have cards such as like Imperm, Tikaboo, Ash, Valor. They'll have pretty much everything at their disposal. Even Molcharmy Fualos, to just ensure that you would have to make a choice to either commit to the board or to either commit to the board fully, do the bare minimum and break even on the Molcharmy effect, or just do nothing at all and pass and lose. The funny thing is, either way, it doesn't matter which one of those three ways you choose. Either way, you essentially just lose right off the bat. So that's like the only downside. But other than that, this is basically your Cyber Dragon Stratos, which is really good. Next up, we have Cookie Yummy. And yes, I get it. I sound like a little kid saying these names, but this one is a 1-star light beast with 1,000 attack, 0 defense, and both of its effects are both once per turn. And I believe all three monsters, their first effect is the exact same thing. Let's see. Let's see here. If you control a Link 1 or a level 2 Synchro, special summons come from your hand. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So the first effect of all three monsters, Cupsy Yummy, Cookie Mummy, and the next one they'll bring up here in a bit, called Lollipo Yummy, they all have the same first effect, which reads if you control a Link 1 or a level 2 Synchro, you can special summon this card from your hands. The second effect of each one reads as followed. Obviously, Cupsy Yummy, obviously I mentioned, basically your Stratos or a plus or a free draw. Cookies, second effect reads, if this card is normal or special summon, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses 1,000 attack. Or if this card was special summoned by a single monster's effect, you can destroy that monster instead. I mean, it's basically a negative Axe of Despair, literally forcing your opponent's monster to lose 1,000 attack. But for the most part, excuse me, but for the most part, you're just gonna end up special summoning the monster anyway. So the opponent's monster in question would just end up getting destroyed. Hang on, guys, let me fix my tripod. I want to fix my tripod a little bit. Adjust the angle. There we go. Move my chair. Okay, there we go. Sorry, guys. I keep kicking my tripod. Anyway, moving on. Again, so being able to just pop one of your opponent's cards, monsters just right at the bat, not too bad. Only downside are the hand traps. Next up is Lollipo Yummy. So there's Lollipo. Let's see here. 1-star light beast. 600 attack, 1,200 defense. The first effect is the exact same. Second effect reads, if this card is normal or special summon, you can target a card in your opponent's grave, shuffle it into the deck. Or if this card was special summoned by a single monster's effect, you can banish that card instead. So to recap, because that you're essentially just gonna be special summoning the monsters anyway, Cupsy can essentially give you a free draw. Cookie can destroy your opponent's monsters, and and Lollipo basically acts as a call by the call by the grave. So it's almost as if you have 4 copies of Call By, which is really cool. I would honestly say that Cupsy would be a 2, Cookie would be a 3, and I think Lollipop would probably be a 3 as well, just because of the fact that you can just because of the fact that you really don't want to see Cupsy all that much, and I feel like because that you want to try and get the draw off, if it doesn't if the draw doesn't go off because of an opponent's like Valor or Ash or perhaps an opponent's Imperm, the card would essentially just be dead, and you wouldn't be able to use it anyway. So I feel like that's probably gonna be the ratio. I could be wrong though, but moving on. Next up we have Cupsy Yummy Way. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, wait a minute. The 3 monsters, you didn't say they were tuners or not. What's going on? You guys are about to find out because Cupsy Yummy Way is a 2-star light beast synchro tuner with 0 attack, 2200 defense, and requires a tuner and 1 or more non-tuners. And the effects read as follows. For this card's Synchro Summon, you can treat a Link 1 monster control as a level 1 tuner. You can only use the first and second effects of the card's name per turn. First effect, let's see, both of its effects are once per turn, and they read as followed. If this card is Synchro Summon, you can add 2 Yummy monsters from your deck to your hand, then discard 1 card. When your opponent activates a card or effect as a quick effect, you can return this card to the extra deck, special summon up to 2 Yummy monsters from your grave. So it basically acts as a Monster Reborn just by bouncing this card back to the extra deck. And the only downside is that if your opponent uses Call By, especially if that's one of the last plays you have, you're screwed. You are deadly screwed, and the only way that you can stop Call By is if you use Ghost Spell, which is very powerful. I would say that the opponent can use Cross Out on Ghost Spell. The only problem is that nowadays you really don't see Cross Out Designator get played all that much. In fact, I think the only time you would ever see it is in like mirror matches and in certain match conditions, I guess, if you will. So honestly though, this isn't bad. I mean, being able to just rota out two Yummy monsters to your hand and to be able to bring out two Yummy monsters from the graveyard, that's actually pretty cool. That's actually pretty sick. And I believe the Synchro monsters, all 3 Synchro monsters have the same first effect. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Okay, so I'm not gonna read off the second effect of all of the other 2. Excuse me, but all 3 synchros have the same effect, where it says for this card's Synchro Summon, you can treat a Link 1 monster you control as a level 1 tuner. So that's really good. So we have Cupsy. Now we have Cookie Yummy Way. Which is a 2-star Light Beast Synchro Tuner, 1600 attack, 0 defense. The first effect reads, if this card is Synchro Summon, you can target up to 2 face-down monsters on the field, change them to face-down defense. Basically a Book of Moon. Not much else to say about that. And then we have Lollipo Yummy Way, which is a 2-star Light Beast Synchro Tuner with 1200 attack and defense. And this card's first effect is actually kind of interesting because it reads, if this card is Synchro summoned, you can special summon 2 Yummy monsters from your grave, but their effects are negated. So here's the funny thing. To recap, Cup C basically acts as a double Rhoda with a double Monster Reborn. Cookie acts as a double Book of Moon, as a double Book of Moon with a double Monster Reborn, and then Lollipo is actually one of the better ones because this one gives you not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Monster Reborns right off the bat. Literally, it is insane, giving you full complete access to pretty much do just about anything. And what's even more funny is that you can use Line of the Light Charmer Lustrous, which is, I believe, the link to Light. And because that this archetype is Light attribute, Light will work perfectly with this deck, which is absolutely insane. My opinion, though, I feel like as far as the synchros go, I feel like Cupsy could, I think all 3 could possibly be a 2, and the link could potentially be a 1 of, in my opinion. I feel like or perhaps like maybe a 3 of. I don't know. I feel like it would be better as a 1 of, just because of the fact that you can you can actually bring out bring the Link monster out off of the second effect of all 3 of the synchros. So I feel like it's more of a 1 of, in my opinion. But speaking of the Link monster, the next one up is actually the Link monster, which is known as Yummy Snatchy. Ooh, almost dropped the iPhone. Haha. Which is a Light Beast Link 1 with 600 attack, and the arrow is bottom, and it requires a level 4 or lower Light Beast monster. And the first effect is a once per turn that reads, if this card is special summon, you can place 1 Yummy Field spell from your hand or deck face up on your field. Also, you cannot special summon Link 3 or higher Link monsters for the rest of the turn. Second effect reads, once per chain during the main phase or your opponent's battle phase as a quick effect, you can pay 100 life points, synchro summon using a Yummy monster you control. Am I the only one here that realizes that understands how powerful this card is? Like, all you're doing is just paying a measly 100 life points just to synchro summon. That is very, very funny. That is very funny. I'm not even gonna justify it. And the funny thing is that it's not a once per turn. It's only a once per chain. So anytime that there's a chain at some point in the match, there could be four separate chains, and you could pay 400 life points just to bring out synchro monsters, which is very, very crazy, absolutely insane. Moving on from that. Next up, we have Yummy's Mint Minion. I'm pretty sure I butchered the name, but yes, Yummy's Mint Minion, which is the field spell, and the second and third effects are both once per turn. The first effect reads, Yummy monsters you control gain 500 attack for each light beast on the field. Second effect reads, if you control a Link 1 monster, you can target a level 1 Yummy monster in your grave, special summon it. Third effect reads, if this card is in your grave, you can target 2 Yummy monsters in your grave and or banishment. Place them and this card on the bottom of the deck in any order. So this basically ensures that you're able to make your plays very quickly, which is very awesome. And again, again, this basically acts as a Monster Reborn, which is really good. Not much else to say about that. Speaking of field spells, we actually have a second field spell, which is known as Yummy Smith Archetype, I believe how it's pronounced. And it is, again, the field spell, and all three of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, if you synchro summon a light beast synchro monster, you can target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. Second effect reads, if a face-up monster you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon a yummy monster from your deck. Third effect reads, if this card is in your grave, you can target 2 yummy monsters in your grave and or banishment, place them and this card on the bottom of the deck in any order. So this basically ensures that you have a body on board. Kind of like it's kind of like oh, what's that one monster card? What was it, Mystic Tomato, I think? It kind of has it's kind of like a recruiter field spell, which is really cool. Not a whole lot to say about it, because you actually do need the field spell to try and not only pop cards that your opponent may have, but also to be able to just combo off from where your board looks like is very crucial. Very crucial. So, but next up we have Yummy Redemption, which is a continuous trap, with the third effect being a once per turn. The first effect reads, monsters your opponent controls lose 200 attack for each light beast you control and in your grave. Second effect reads, once per chain, if you synchro summon a light beast synchro, you can draw one card, then place one card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. Third effect reads, you can banish the card from your grave, target a yummy monster you control, and a monster your opponent controls, switch control of both. So this is basically creature swap. This is basically creature swap on steroids, and you're able to draw a card, but put a card back into your deck. Kind of like a mini Graceful Charity in a way. But still, that's actually pretty insane. There is one other card that was also announced, excuse me, for this archetype, and I wanted to address that in this video. And the name of the card is called Yummy Surprise, which is a quick play spell, and the effect reads as follows. Activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect once per turn. Target 2 light beast monsters you control and 2 cards your opponent controls, return them to the hand. Special summon a yummy monster from your hand or grave, but it cannot attack directly this turn. Return a field spell from your face-up field or grave to the hand, then you can place a yummy field spell from your hand on your field face up. So this is actually kind of funny because this is 3 very powerful cards into one quick play spell. So you have basically Compulse, 4 copies of compulsory evacuation device in this quick play spell. You have a Cyber Rev system. And then you have basically a compulse with a compulse metaverse with the field spell, which is really good. I will say though, I think looking at the reprints, I think honestly this archetype might just end up becoming the meta, which is very crazy. So the reprints that are in this, our gravity controller. Where art thou? And obedience schooled, which obedience schooled in the beast decks from back in the day were nasty, guys. They were just nasty. There's a note underneath that said redemption that reads: the design of the cards is meant to emulate a crane game. The 100 life points is a 100 yen coin. The synchros emulate the crane game. Then this dissipating into parts is the crane game failing. That is actually kind of funny. That is actually kind of funny because I have heard that sometimes sometimes the crane games in the crane games in Japan can oftentimes shut down sometimes, at least from what I heard and from what I've seen in from what I had seen in several different anime. Apparently, people are saying people are saying that saying that Sky Striker can actually be used in this archetype known as Sky Striker Yummy. I honestly don't know if that's really the case. But I will say that this archetype could end up becoming the next tier 0 deck, just because of the fact that this is more the deck is more of an anti-meta. I feel like it's more of an anti-meta strat rather than a strategy that that just breaks the opponent's board. I feel like it's more of an anti-meta control style of deck. So is it possible that this deck could be meta? 100% is very possible, but there is one other archetype that has yet to be revealed. But I will be revealing that archetype in the next several days or so. So get ready for that one. But with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.